If you are a B2B service-based business owner and you are looking to gain more clients, create more impact and more revenue in your business, tune in to Amplify Your Marketing Message with Christine Campbell-Rappin. Every week, we're going to take you through how to build an audience of buyers, mastering your marketing message, and making offers that convert consistently. We'll see you all on the inside. Welcome back, everybody. I want to remind you that the marketplace rewards relevance. And truthfully, the audience, the marketplace, your next client is a little jaded when it comes to you grandiosing why you are an expert. So today on our episode, we're going to tackle how can you be relevant by using testimonials to speak the truth for you. Welcome to this episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell-Rappin. I will tell you that the marketplace is not wowed by your 25 years of experience. Truthfully, in many corners, you just seem old and not relevant to the needs of the current marketplace. And ageism is a real thing that you must be aware of. It's also not impressed by the millions of certifications that you have captured with very few exceptions. What matters to your client is that you can get the result based on the current marketplace and the struggles of the unique individual that is struggling to get there on their own. And remember that our whole gift of marketing is to spark curiosity with people who are potential buyers for us. So let's just recap in case you're new here on the show, but buyers are three unique things and not all visibility matters. You are trying to call forward your next client and be relevant to them in this moment of time, because a decision-making moment is a moment of impact. What's going on? Buyers have three things in that moment. Number one, they are problem aware. So you're not there to educate them about a problem they don't have, don't recognize, and don't prioritize. If you do that, you are wasting your time, and I bet my very high amount of money that you're a likable expert and not the most hired choice, and you're struggling to find clients. So they are aware already. Number two is that they have an awareness and have tried to solve the problem already. And a repeating pattern is a better business model than a once and never again repeated opportunity. And because they're human and they've tried to solve this, they've probably tried to solve it more than once, which means they have Googled it, Pinterested it, YouTubed it, taken courses, listened to podcasts. They may have invested in mentors. They may have taken books out of the library. They could do a million things to try to solve this, but there's still a gigantic elephant in the room. I have a problem and I'm not happy with my current reality. I have a huge sense of dissatisfaction. And that's where you come in. You come in when they are the third thing, committed to change, committed to action. You are a fuel source. You are not the spark to a better future. And so you should always be checking. Are you in front of a buyer? Because truthfully, if you're not, your 30 million certifications and your long years of experience aren't relevant. But how do you get relevant, Christine, you're thinking? Well, I would tell you, testimonials are one of the fastest paths to this destination. And so I want to give you 7 questions that you can guide people who've experienced the transformations and results that you get paid for so that they can be the mouthpiece. They speak loudly to the relevance and they can be relatable. So the first question that we want to be guiding our advocate around is, what was life like before you entered the scene? We said they have dissatisfaction. They have tried to solve a problem. Something has gone on. We need to set the scene and give the context, because the most relevant piece of the puzzle is that the next client is relating to what the current or past client went through. That's the fast path. So you ask, what were things like before you encountered my services? You want to ask the question number 2, why did that current reality suck? Why was it awful? Why did you not just stay there? What was the decision-making moment when it became untenable to land there forever? What was the spurring moment to step off the grenade and get into movement? Number 3, you want to be asking, what were you looking for? And this is so important. It's the language. It's the emotion. It's not the how. What's the lived experience you were seeking? Because truthfully, if the lived experience is a juicy enough carrot, we are willing to go through the awful experience of growth. And if that utopia they're seeking, that better tomorrow, that dream outcome isn't compelling, you will never get them off zero. And that's why it's really important that you check. Are they committed? Are they aware? Are they clear enough on what they seek? Because if they're not clear on what they seek, how will kill every dream? Because it feels like busy work, but it never wins. And they know that because they've tried a million other things. And so clarity is always the ultimate accelerator. And that's what these first questions are all about. They're about the context, the emotions, and the dream. That's how you get relevant to the marketplace. Somebody's story connects human to human. And you say, okay, we're standing on a grenade. And I entered the scene. And the fourth question is, what was it about us, me specifically, our company, what we stood for, what you experienced that captured your interest? And what was so compelling about this interest that you made a yes decision to get even more uncomfortable than you were standing on the grenade in your dissatisfaction? Because getting off the grenade doesn't solve the problem. It actually gets a lot awfuler first because we're in growth. And that's why you as a business owner need to show up as a human, because the moment of yes and 3 seconds after are the scariest position for a business to be in and a decision maker to be in. And many, many, many times, if you don't have great customer care and haven't thought through that ginormous wobble that your new client is experiencing, you can watch that deal disappear in a nanosecond. And it does a lot if you're not careful. But you've started to really create this. What was the spark of curiosity that you moved towards? Number 5, after you said yes, did we deliver? What was the experience like working with us? What did you feel? What did you see? What did you live? And what's important in this storytelling is not that it comes across in this platitude, like a Hallmark card. She was awesome. No, I'm sure you were, but that will not help you move the market and be relevant. What matters is the discord, the wobble, how you held somebody through, and what it was like when you showed up to meet the other human, your client, in the dark, and you held their hand. And I know I always hear it in my testimonials. It was uncomfortable. I was scared. I held space for my clients to wobble, be scared, and still take action. I often hear the phrase, "You should come with a warning label, Christine, because you live in my head," which means I'm memorable. And I said, well, what am I saying in your head? And it's always great, elegantly simple, sage advice to get moving. And I said, you know why you're uncomfortable with me and your brain? Because you're not taking the good advice I gave. And you know that what you want on the other side can be facilitated by my advice. And when you get the results, you look back and say, I wish I'd done it faster the first time you asked. I said, I know, but that's why I stay at the table with you, because you probably won't. But you'll learn, and then you will gain, and then you will grow, and you will accelerate. But it's important at step 5 that you are asking about their lived experience, and you may need to be teasing this out because the language matters. The highs matter, yes, but so do the lows. What did you do when it was tough? Adversity was everywhere, and things weren't working in a nanosecond because the world had promised me I could just say yes and get it. So then you take an exhale and you ask question 6. What is your business, your life, your experience like now, in the present? After the yes, after the work, or during the work, but with big rocks winning? What becomes possible because of where you are now, on the other side, in the lived experience? Never mind that it included 3 of this, 4 of that, 2 of this, and a unicorn. I want to know what the lived experience is like now. I want to know this elegantly simple way to be relevant. Why does it matter to you? Was it worth it? And why was it specifically worth it to you? Relevance is about giving meaning, not just she's awesome, but she's awesome because of what's possible for me now. Because remember this, you are not the solution. You're the guide to the solution they create for themselves. And I had this beautiful moment today in my business with a client who's been a private client for about 6 months. And I had said to her when she hired me, there will be a time in your business, in our journey together, where leads will not be the biggest problem. The marketing piece will not be the biggest problem. We will have the right people coming to us. We will have more opportunities than comfortably we can swallow. And you will grow to the next level. And we will find time for you by getting rid of some of the things that are holding you back at the current level that will not serve you at the next. And it was about 2 weeks ago, she came into my space and she said, I think I'm having that moment. I have so many leads and so much business, and I'm scared about both the money, the responsibility, and is it enough? And can we do it? And I said, welcome to the next wobble. That's normal. But fast forward to today, she sent me a text this morning and she said, I am hugely celebrating. That client that came to me unsolicited, I just closed it for $13,000. The other client, who's been one of my longest clients, came in and didn't band-aid a solution. She went for the full refresh. It's $8,000. And you know what? That collaborative partner that you sat in with also won another deal because we're strong together. And that's added $5,000 to my business. So at the end of this week, I started it in tears because I felt overwhelmed. We had our session and we talked through how to handle it. We talked about the step and the audit and how we grow. And today she's like, I would not be here without you. And I owe a lot of credit to the guidance that you gave and having access to you at a higher level of experience to hold my hand through this. And my response was twofold. Number 1, I phoned her and I screamed in her ear, woo-hoo! I'm so excited for you. Number 2, I said this to her. This work was yours, not mine. You won this business. You stayed at the table. You see things that are possible now because before we had this challenge, life was awful. You were looking for a step into bigger money, a step into fewer clients, and I'm guiding you to create that. But what's possible now? And here's question 7. Why is it awesome to you to be on the other side of the transition, to be on the other side, to be building the muscles? Why does this matter to you? We must give meaning, and people must be invited to share meaning, because that's what becomes relevant to the marketplace. And for her, the money isn't the thing. It's important. And all those numbers she earned this week in 3 major wins in her business facilitate something that's meaningful for her. And that's why I said I expect celebratory stories in our next session. How did you take a moment to celebrate staying at the table, working through the stuff, and believing and borrowing my belief as necessary to get here? Please take a moment that you can connect to why it's awesome for you, so that you can continue to get into the next opportunity, the next conversation, the next moment to win business, to create a result somebody chose you for. Because it's easy to stand up and say you're awesome, to talk your pedigree, talk your certifications, talk your years of experience. It's not what will win you clients. It may get you into the door in certain industries and in certain places, but it's not everywhere. In all the years that I have been mentoring people to create many, many millions of dollars, only once has somebody said, "Are you certified as a coach?" I said, "No, because I'm not one. I have built a lot of businesses. I have led a lot of people. I have 2 degrees in the world of business. If it cares, those degrees from really well-respected universities carry more weight in some circles than a certification program does, because of the duration, the experience, the context." But why do I win clients? Because my focus is in not me grandstanding. Although, yes, I did share a personal story in this episode today. I will let you hear the stories of my clients, because their stories, their advocacy, their personal relevance is what will move my next client towards my business. And so you should be always looking for testimonials. I have a discipline in my business that every quarter we ask our clients, what's going on? Where did you start the quarter? What was going on? What did you think the biggest challenge was, or the roadblock? Why and how did we help you solve it? What was relevant to you? What was the thing that really made the difference for you? And everybody's answers are different. Even though we coach and guide in all the same principles and foundations, the experience is different. The lens is different. And the most important question I ask at the end of every quarter, what has become possible for you now that you can see before you? And why does that feel exciting? And how can I support you on that journey? So I want you to be relevant, because credentials don't close clients, don't win you business. Connection does. And so these 7 questions to get better testimonials, to tell stories from firsthand experience of working with you, experiencing your thinking, your lens, your opinion, your lived lessons, is what will matter. So today I have an ask for you. I want you to go do 2 things. Number 1, I want you to phone a current or past client and get a testimonial in the next 48 hours. Help your business from this moment. Right now, go do it. After you hit close of your app, go do this. Go talk to a client, get a testimonial, and put a discipline in place that you do this regularly. And number 2, I want you to give me a testimonial. What's it like listening to the show? What are you taking away from this episode, from past episodes? Why do you stay subscribed to this show? What does it bring to you? Tell me your personal experience. it will change somebody else's future. Your firsthand account matters. I'll see you on our next episode. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell-Rappin. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. And be sure to visit christinecampbellrappin.com/podcast to get a free resource on how to master your marketing message. We'll see you all on our next episode.